The bell above the diner door jingled as a small, trembling voice whispered, "Table for one, please." It was Emily, 16 years old, fragile in frame, with a metal brace wrapped around her left leg and an old denim jacket 2 sizes too big. She always came to Maggie's diner on Sundays after church, same booth by the window, same order, pancakes with strawberries. Most of the regulars knew her, the quiet girl who smiled at everyone, who left a tip in crumpled dollar bills she'd probably saved from her allowance. But that morning, the diner wasn't filled with regulars. It was filled with trouble. 3 boys, high school seniors, loud and cocky, were sitting in the corner booth. The kind of kids who thought the world revolved around them. They noticed Emily right away. "Hey, look at that." One of them snickered. "You think she ran out of batteries?" The other laughed, leaning forward, mocking her limp as she made her way to her seat. The waitress froze. A few customers looked up, then looked away. Nobody said a word. Emily kept her eyes down, trying to pretend she didn't hear. Her hands shook as she poured syrup over her pancakes. Then one of the boys, the one with a red varsity jacket, stood up and walked over. "Hey, Robo girl," he said, grinning cruelly. "How fast can you run if I take your crutch?" Emily looked up, her eyes wide with fear. "Please, just leave me alone." He didn't. He leaned closer, too close, and before anyone could stop him, he slapped the plate right off her table. Pancakes splattered across the floor. Syrup dripped down her jeans. The diner went silent. For a second, time froze. The boy laughed, a sharp, ugly sound, and his friends joined in, high-fiving like they'd just won something. Emily didn't cry. She just looked down, her shoulders trembling. She reached for her walking aid and whispered, "I'm sorry," as if she had done something wrong. Then she limped out of the diner. Nobody moved. Nobody said a word. An hour passed. The diner returned to its uneasy quiet. The waitress swept the floor, her hands shaking. People were still whispering about what had happened when the bell above the door jingled again. This time, it wasn't a scared little girl who walked in. It was them, 6 burly men in leather jackets, their bikes growling outside like thunder. Tattoos on their arms, heavy boots on the floor. The kind of men you don't make eye contact with. The lead rider, a tall man with a gray beard and a patch that read, "Iron Hearts MC, scanned the room. His eyes were calm but sharp. They took a booth near the center. The diner grew quiet again. The waitress, trying to stay professional, walked over. "Coffee, 6, please," the leader said. And, was a girl here earlier? Small, limp in her leg, denim jacket. The waitress froze. Her eyes darted nervously toward the group of boys still sitting in the corner booth. "Why yes," she stammered. She left about an hour ago." The leader nodded slowly. "She's our friend," he said, voice low but steady. "We saw what happened." The room went still. He turned his gaze toward the boys' booth. "You 3. They looked up, confused. "What?" He stood. The other bikers followed, the floor creaking under their weight. The air felt electric. "Was it you?" the leader asked quietly. "The ones who thought it was funny to mess with a disabled girl?" The boys tried to laugh it off. "We were just joking, man. Chill." The biker took a slow step closer. "No," he said, "you weren't joking. You were being cowards." One of the boys stood up, puffing his chest. "You don't tell me what to." Before he could finish, the biker grabbed his plate, not him, just the plate, and slammed it down on their table with a thunderous crack. Coffee spilled everywhere. Everyone jumped. "Sit down," the biker said. "We're not here to hurt you. We're here to teach you something." The diner was dead silent. "Do you know who that girl is?" the leader asked. "Her name's Emily. Her dad used to ride with us. He died in a wreck 5 years ago." The boys froze. She was 12 when it happened. He was coming home from work to take her to a father-daughter dance. "Never made it." The leader's voice softened. "Every Sunday, she comes here after church because this was their spot. The pancakes, the window seat, that was her memory of him. Her way of keeping him alive." The silence that followed was heavier than any threat could have been. The boys looked down at their hands. Their faces turned pale. The leader leaned forward. "You think strength is about being loud? About making someone smaller than you feel weaker? Son, strength is about standing up for someone when no one else will." Then he reached into his jacket and placed a folded $100 bill on their table. "Here," he said, "go find her. Apologize. Buy her new pancakes. You don't deserve forgiveness, but you might learn something about being men." He turned to leave. His crew followed. The door jingled again as they walked out into the afternoon light. 2 days later, Emily sat in her usual booth, nervously stirring her drink. She hadn't planned on coming back, but something told her she should. The bell above the door jingled again. It was them, the 3 boys. They looked nothing like before. No swagger, no smirks. Just quiet faces and shaky hands. The one in the red varsity jacket stepped forward. He placed a to-go box on her table. "Strawberry pancakes," he said softly. Sorry." Emily looked at them for a long moment. Then, slowly, she smiled. "Thank you." Outside, parked by the curb, 6 motorcycles gleamed under the sun. The bikers weren't inside this time. They were watching from a distance. The leader smiled faintly as he saw Emily laugh for the first time in weeks. He turned to his crew and said, "Looks like the kid's got her angels back." Engines roared to life. As they rode away, the sound wasn't thunder anymore. It was something else, the sound of redemption.